All right, what's going on, my brothers? Today is March 28th, 2025, and this is your heart medicine for today. Hope you all are doing well. It is Friday. Hope you got some good plans for yourself. Ooh, this is the card for today. Everybody take a couple of deep breaths here. All right, so the medicine for today, which might be a little uncomfortable for some of you all, is it's going to be important for you to take some time today and reflect on any mistakes that you know that you have made that are going to be important for you to own. We all make mistakes. We're not perfect people. What builds not only good character, but alignment with self is when we're able to say, I stepped outside of alignment, or I didn't even know what alignment was. And I took actions that now I realize weren't the best for me, weren't the best for others. And it's a sign of a person of good heart to be able to say, that's a mistake I made. You know, if I could do that again, I'd do it over. And it's not about beating yourself up, because that doesn't serve you. It's about the lessons that you learn when you look at and own what you have done. It's also about taking back the energy of harm that's yours. Because when we, particularly if it's a mistake that harmed other people, when we harm other people and we don't own it, and we don't take that energy, then they live with that energy and have to figure out how to metabolize it and how to transmute it. But when we can go to somebody and say, you know what, I should have never said that. That was hurtful for you. That was degrading to you. And I apologize, right? And it's not about getting forgiveness from them. It's about taking back the harm energy that you caused. And that doesn't mean they still don't have to work through stuff, because impact is impact. But you take back that energy by owning it, so there's less of that they have to work through. And that's an important part of how we create energetic balance and harmony. Sometimes we look at the world and we're like, why is the world so wild and crazy and chaotic and all this stuff, and why are there all these issues? Well, there's a lot of unclaimed mistakes all over the world and all over the place, which means there's a lot of energy that's floating, that can't be metabolized, that can't be dealt with. So today, you know, what's one thing that you're really like, man, that was a mistake. That was definitely a misstep. I could have done that differently. That wasn't a choice I would make today. And what does that look like for you to first with yourself take that ownership? Because some of you I know haven't done it with yourself. So first with yourself, say, yeah, I own that was a choice that I shouldn't have made, you know, and stop making excuses, because we'll do that. Well, they did that. They did this. They did it. Do you want to be the kind of person whose behavior is dictated by what other people do to you? Or do you want to be an actual soul sovereign being who makes their own choices, who can look in the face of somebody else's poor behavior and say, I'm not you, and I'm not going to become you. I'm going to stay in alignment with who God created me to be, right? So take some time, identify one or two things, take the ownership for yourself. Take back that energy, especially if it was something that harmed somebody else. It may or may not be appropriate to approach them with ownership. But here's the thing, if you do, before you do, you need to take ownership with yourself completely. And you ain't gonna do that in a day. So do not text nobody trying to take ownership or apologize for something. Do not do that. Take the time that you need. Maybe even talk to somebody if you have a therapist or a mentor. Confess what you did to them first and take ownership, right? And then, only then, when you're not looking for forgiveness or any of that, but you're merely wanting to take ownership with that person, might you reach out to somebody else? But it doesn't also have to be a mistake that involved anybody else, you know, or somebody you can still reach out to, and the energy can be felt if you can really own what you did or how you contributed. For some of you, this might be something that even happened in childhood. Like I know I was a bully when I was a kid. Right? I know I bullied people and I hurt them, and those are choices that I wouldn't make today to be that person. And so I own that I did. I own that I know that it probably hurt folks. I own that it might be that there are people still to this day who are moving through the impact of how I bullied them, you know, and I take ownership of that. I forgive myself for it because I didn't know, but now I do, and I make a commitment to do life differently this time around. All right, so that's the medicine for today. If nobody has told you today, my brother, I absolutely love you all the way down to your shoes. And I'm so glad that you're here. You're so essential to this world. Everybody is bigger than their mistake. Everybody's even bigger than the worst mistake they've ever made. None of us want to be judged by the worst mistake that we've ever made. So this isn't about beating yourself up, right? This is about loving you enough to own who you were and who you want to be, and loving our world enough to say, I'm going to do my part to clean up some of this energy. All right. Love y'all. Have an amazing weekend, or whatever time of day of the week it is you're watching this. And make sure you do something kind for my brother. Love you. Peace.